Hello guys, welcome back to Aroma Artisans, and this is the part 3 of the 5-part series on why we as a brand prefer and recommend using perfumes on clothes, especially certain perfumes that you might get to know in this particular part 3 of the video. If you've seen part 1 and part 2, you have understood, or rather have a fair decent understanding about reformulations and IFRA. Now, before I get into details of this video, I want to say that I'm not here bashing any particular brand, or I'm not talking bad about any other brand as such. And I'm only sharing some information that is publicly available online. Even you have access to all this information online, and I'm just sharing what I found. Now, to get into detail as such, first we need to understand this aspect here, that is making a perfume. In a very general sense of understanding, there are two aspects of creating a perfume, that is your creative aspect and the safety aspect. Now, just to understand this, what I'm trying to say is that a brand manages this entire creative aspect of the perfume. The two entities would be the brand as such and the safety entity or organizations like the RIFM or IFRA as such, who are providing you safety standards, which the brand then follows. Now, the creative aspect is where the brand decides the things like the scent profile and the marketing information and PR and all this stuff. Where when you look at the creative side of the scent profile, the brand is the one which is deciding whether we're going to use your fresh ingredients, citruses, musks, oud, and all those things. And then they follow the safety standards. Like, let's take an example here. The brand is deciding whether they want to use Kumarin or not, and they say yes, we go ahead with Kumarin, and then they get the safety standards information of Kumarin. It's at 1.5%, and they follow the safety standards. Similarly, in case if a brand wants to use, let's say, birch for the smoky aspect of birch, then they check out all the safety data and then they follow the safety data, because they also, when I say they, these brands also know that this safety data gets updated often, and they keep track of the safety data always before using a particular material as such. And this goes on for all your ingredients that go into the final product. Like, for example, ISO super, we know that it's at a 20% and so on. So again, just to be very clear, that brands decide what materials that they want to use, and then they follow the safety standards that are provided by organizations like IFRA or RIFM or any other such organization that they particularly follow. So that's the general aspect of following the general aspect of making a perfume. Now you're going to ask me, why did you tell me this information? For this, we are going to talk about an example of lilial as such. Lilial is a material, is a floral material which is very famous for the past few decades. And lilial as a material had started going through IFRA's regulations all the way from 2003, when they told in 2003 that you cannot use more than 2.5% lilial in your formulations. And then it stayed for up to 1.9% all the way up till 2013. And then they reduced it even further for 2015. And then in 2020, they made it to 1.4%. And in 2022, lilial was banned in cosmetics in many countries, in Europe, in UK, even Kuwait as such banned products with lilial. I shall put a screenshot of a particular article as such. The reasoning for banning lilial is dermal toxicity, systemic toxicity, and effects on fertility, negative effects on fertility. When I say systemic toxicity or effects on fertility or dermal toxicity, it does not mean that the minute you spray one spray of any particular fragrance that has lilial in it, that you're going to get some crazy disease or ailment as such. But here, these are, what do we say, results on a larger scale of testing, where it is almost, you can say, on a country level, where the result is specified in such a way because it may be harmful for one in a million, one in a thousand, one in 10 million, but that one person also should not be affected as per European laws or standards as such. So it gets banned totally. What I'm trying to say here is that Lilial might not affect you immediately on first spray. It might affect someone immediately on the first spray. You never know who the outlier is, who that person, who that unlucky person is, for whom Lilial is very bad for the body. For you, it just might be a normal standard material, it smells great and no effect as such. Now, giving examples of this Lilial formulations, Lilial reformulations, I'll take you to an article which is basically reformulations here. Everyone knows Fragrantica. Whoever is a perfume lover, a perfume connoisseur as such, visits this website. They have this particular article all the way from February 2022, which talks about Lilial being harmful to fertility and so on. Now, the easiest way to find out if your product has Lilial as such is when you turn around the box, you will find this name, butyl phenyl methyl propanol. I know it's a handful, a mouthful. So yeah, if you have this written in your ingredients, my personal suggestion would be that use this particular fragrance on your clothes. Similarly, this other material here, that's hydroxy isohexyl 3-cyclohexane carboxaldehyde. This is probably Lyral. So Lilial and Lyral got I think they got banned at the same time as such. But yeah, even um, Lyral is not something that is very good for you. So yeah, keep looking at this butyl phenyl yeah, so all these are the ones. And when we further scroll down, we come across this particular thing where it talks about fragrances let off till March 1st, new batches to be delivered. That means these fragrances are yet to go through reformulations. Obviously, today we are in 2023, so either any of these fragrances got discontinued or they got reformulated because of Lilial. And if you come across, or if you have any of these fragrances which are pre 2022, again, my personal suggestion would be that use it on your clothes. Don't why risk it? But I also know that there are a lot of people who be like, it's okay, it doesn't matter, I'm using it, I don't have any itching, I don't have rashes, so I'll just use it. And these are fragrances that have already been reformulated due to Lilial, and you can go through this. And it's just not this much, it's all Versace and Moschino fragrances as such. So Lilial is widely used, was widely used. So yeah, if you have any of these fragrances, I would say that pre 2022, I would say please use on skin. That's much more easier or safer as such. Uh, so yeah, this was Lilial. Similarly, Lyral. Oh no, coming back to here. What I wanted to say when I was talking about this particular aspect of perfume making is that Lilial, what level of Lilial was safe during 2003 is unsafe during 2007, is unsafe during 2015, is unsafe during 2020, and unsafe today. It is considered unsafe today. So what I'm trying to say here is we never know when a particular material would get red flagged or would come under the attention, because every year we come up with some new technology, or we come up some new tests, or more detailed versions of older tests which give us more accurate results of certain things which we thought were accurate before. Again, not going to round it off too much. You never know when a particular material stays safe according to research. Maybe there is a material that is very safe today, but probably down the line, maybe 5, 10 years down the line, there is a new way to understand the test results and new data is revealed, and then we understand that, oh, it's not safe for the skin, but we have been using that particular fragrance that has X material which is unsafe in the future. And God forbid anyone has some issues, health issues as such, then whom to blame? Because at the point of time when you purchase the fragrance, it was safe. Like, for example, Lilial, certain fragrances before 2022 were freely sold because they were considered safe according to the safety standards of that particular year. Again, I think I've told it way too many times. I'm giving you now examples. Lyral also got banned very close to or with Lilial. It started off with 1.5% in 2003 and went all the way up till 0.2% in 2020. That's hardly anything, 0.2%. Then we have interesting aspects like Musk Embret was totally banned in 2006. Raspberry ketones have 1% in 2020. Geraniol as such has had changes in the past. Citral has had changes. The latest at 2020, the last I checked, was 0.6. There might be a new change in the 51st amendment as such. These dates here, they come under amendments. Each amendment is in a particular year. Rose ketones went through changes as such. Now is another very important aspect that I wanted to mention is that every specific area or country as such has different safety standards, or sometimes there are no such safety standards in place. Why I'm saying this is that musk xylene got prohibited to for being used in 2009, where the reason for the prohibition was that it got the VPVB status, that is very persistent and very bioaccumulative status. So all across Europe and many other countries, they said no more musk xylene. But today in India, when you Google buy musk xylene, you can easily get musk xylene online, which I think is okay if you're selling some product, there might be some use for it as such. But no vendor that I came across online mentions that it is prohibited in perfume making. On the contrary, it has been sold as a very good fixative. And I would urge anyone seeing this video who knows any vendor or anything, please put this in your on your website if you are selling musk xylene, that don't use it in your perfumery. Again, it's just an I would say it's an urge as such. I wouldn't even say the word urge. It's a request. It's up to them whether they're going to do it or not. An example for Bird Star 2013 was when it got prohibition and it got this specification. There is this particular specification of what kind of Bird Star can be used. It has to go under specific rectification and all that stuff. And I'm just thinking out loud. There's a possibility that that was the reason of Aventus reformulation that people talk about. That the previous one was nice and smoky, and the smokiness has come down, probably because of this. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Similarly, there are these so many materials. This is just a small little handful of the entire IFRA compilation. You can pause your video here in case if you're interested to see what are the materials as such. And now we've come to end of part 3, and as I always say, do like this video, do subscribe to the channel. We do have this new WhatsApp channel that you can follow us, where we would put up updates more regularly than the video as such. We will also have possible offers or whatever going on with our brand as such over there. So till then, I would say do share this video with your friends for the safety reasons as such. Stay safe, stay fragrant. Have a nice day.